Welcome back, quick crypto family. Once again, another live stream, doing these daily. Been doing it for the past, how long has it been now? I think almost 2 weeks straight of live streams right now. It's been incredible every single day doing this. I've loved every single second of it. And we're back once again with some more big Kaspa news, some massive news. I've been doing my own research as I've been doing daily, and discovered that there's a potential, and seemingly quite a high one, that the Kraken listing that we got recently regarding Kaspa's roadmap, this listing may come sooner than we expect, which is very bullish news. So yeah, we're going to be discussing that today, and it's very exciting times right now for Kaspa. As always, we look at right now, Kaspa's currently valued at 16.55 cents, up roughly 2.17% on the daily time frame. And yeah, if you enjoy these daily streams, then feel free to give it a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. And yeah, we're going to get right into this. Good morning, DJ Tommy Boy, Johnny Taco Outdoors, Crypto Millionaire Unite. I think we all dipped down a bit. Thanks for doing your lives. You're welcome. Like I said, I've been doing this every single day. I love doing them. And yeah, I also agree. I think right now we're going to see some more consolidation right now for Kaspa right now. We've been seeing it. I've been saying it for the past 3 or 4 or 5 streams since we got to the stage here. We see some consolidation around this area. We'll see some higher high, potentially some higher lows incoming, before inevitably we will see the reversal in the market and pushing back up to our all-time highs and surpassing that. Leroy, my man from Australia, 11:30 where he's at, always turning up at midnight. Basically, he's a legend by all means. My brother, you're the best. You put a lot of time to help us, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. We're all here to learn much more. So this is for all of us, not just for me. And without further ado, let's start the main topic of the live stream. I'll circle back to it later on for those who are going to be joining later, because it's just starting up the stream. But for those who are in my Discord, okay, before I do that, Jaru Taylor, apologies if I butchered your name. Can Kaspa get to $5? I think there's a high possibility of that. Because there's a lot of developments happening in the market. If you base it just on the indicators of the power law, it states top end of $3, but that doesn't take into account, exchange listings and developments of KRC20, the KII as well, which is going to be a very big factor for Kaspa, and so much more, which I'll get into in this live stream in more detail. But I think $5 is very possible for Kaspa in this bull cycle. Aussie here, crypto keeps you up late at night. Yeah, I honestly wish I could do it at a better time for you, but unfortunately the timing where it is right now is seemingly the best across all regions. It's midday in EST, Eastern Standard Time. Pacific Time, it's 9 a.m, so they're basically just waking up. It's 4 p.m. where I'm at, and then it makes it 11:30 where you are. So, a bit of late night entertainment for you guys, Got 20,000 cash, trying to make it to 100,000. I'm fairly sure, I'm confident. I mean, not guarantee, of course, but I'm confident. I believe that it will reach $5, if not higher, in this bull cycle. And if not, I mean, either way, I'm holding Kaspa very long term. So you'll make that definitely if you just hold that long term. I'm sure of that. When you guys taking profits, I'm thinking 3, 5. I'll pull out emotional investment. I'm taking profits all the step of the way. Small profits here and then. I'll taking out probably at 50 cents. Maybe no. I'll take some at $1. Probably some at $1.50, $2, then $3, then $5, so on. But ultimately, I'm never not going to own Kaspa. Like, I'm going to be holding Kaspa as a long-term investment, 100%, and I'll take little bits of profit here and then. Eventually get to the point where Kaspa's a store of value, and I just take out some when I need to make a payment. But Kaspa's going to be used as a peer-to-peer anyways, a medium of exchange, so I may not even need to do that. But anyways, as I was saying, let's get into the bulk of the video. This is why we are so fortunate to be in Kaspa right now. If you think you're late buying Kaspa, look again. This is what is incoming and what's happening right now, or the developments happening with Kaspa right now. Kaspa's at 16 cents. And we're still in the bear trap right now. We've got Kasplex around the corner, going to be launched before the end of this month or early September. Marathon, who's now diversified to mine Kaspa as well as Bitcoin, first altcoin ever in history. Binance, mining pools and futures exchange listings, which I'm going to cover in this video as well. We've got the whole Coinbase potential listing, Kraken, which I'm going to cover most in this live stream. KRC20 again, the first bull one ever. There's so much incoming for Kaspa that there's no reason not to be bullish in my opinion, right? And let's get on to this post here. I was doing my research earlier. I put this in my Discord server, which I'm going to link in the chat right now. If you want to join, free to join Discord server. It's also on my homepage, on my YouTube account, and also in the description of the live stream. But I'll do my research. And I found this post here. Found this on a Kaspa Discord server. So not mine, but another Discord server where it says, truth be told, seems like it makes sense to me. Pretty much all the Binance pools are assets are listed on Binance and Kraken is likely to be listed as well. Probably the two tier ones by the end of this year. So there's right now it seems a high possibility we'll see Binance and Kraken list Kaspa before the end of this year, which would be very, very big news. Take a look at this, right? I'm not going to do that because you can't see on the whole screen. Kraken typically takes around 4 to 6 weeks, so a little over a month, to list a coin after adding it to its listings roadmap, which that happened to Kaspa a little less than a week ago, so basically a week ago now. So it's 3 to 5 weeks now. This process involves a comprehensive evaluation of their listing committee, which includes the due diligence on the project's technology, team, and market potential. Kraken has recently streamlined and accelerated its listing process to be more transparent and efficient, but that is the exact timing. We can still vary depending on the complexity and readiness of the project. That's exactly what I've put in my Discord server as well. To go into more detail on that, effectively, there are multiple factors that have to go into an exchange listing for Kraken. Now, this is very, very big news. So in the past, Kraken has taken a little over a month to list a project when they make the announcement on their roadmap. But there are several depending factors that can affect the timing of this listing. One is regulatory compliance, which unfortunately in the United States, regulatory compliance is still in shaky territory. So there's still that's kind of a wild card, a red herring, if you will. You've got technical integration, so how long and complicated it would be for Kraken to integrate Kaspa, so they'll go through numerous tests to do so. The market conditions, which in my opinion, I would like to say that right now, the market is in a prime position. We're in a bear trap, the market seems to be in a bit of a low point, Bitcoin's below 60k. If you want to make money off an investment, which is business are the same thing as us, they want to make money off listing Kaspa, it would be the best time to do so anytime now, right? That's how I see it as well, best time to do it right now. Not also to mention that you've got project readiness. So the project, how ready Kaspa is, how far developed Kaspa is, and what is incoming, which my only worry right now for Kaspa is the hard fork for 10 blocks per second, which we don't know when that's going to happen. We know it will happen, we don't know when. But that's my only worry. Otherwise, Kaspa is more than ready for this shift, if you will, right? And then what he mentions here, which is what I'm showcasing here, is the fact that this is all very, very bullish. And Kraken, as of May 20th, so not even 3 months ago, very, very recently, they made a commitment on their blog. They stated, streamlining our listing experience while also providing a view into our decision-making process is an important part of Kraken's mission to accelerate the global adoption of cryptocurrencies. So by this announcement, it is likely to make you're able to make the assumption, and a logical one at that if it normally takes Kraken 4 to 6 weeks to make a listing for a project on the roadmap, and now they are accelerating their process in doing so, we could potentially see a listing earlier than 4 to 6 weeks, so potentially before the end of this month, which would be massive, massive news. I know that the listing itself, if I go and find it, the listing itself stated that when projects are listed on the Kraken roadmap, it's not a guarantee. Like, an asset inclusion on this roadmap is not a guarantee of a listing. But more than not, they have been listed, and not to mention that Kaspa already has futures on it already. There's already connection to Kraken and Kaspa. So this is very, very bullish news, and seemingly we may get it before the end of this month, which again is so very big. So we are likely going to see some insane price momentum coming for Kaspa in the very, very immediate short term, which would just see, as I mentioned this in my live stream yesterday. Someone asked me what would tier 1s do to Kraken, or what would tier 1s do to Kaspa, and I answered this yesterday. What we'll see is when the official announcement is made on the Twitter page, on their X page, you'll see a lot of the massive wallet holders, more of the whales and the sharks and the humpbacks, all of these massive wallet holders will start filling up their bags more and more and more. And everyone else will start getting into it more and more and more as a whole, as a collective. So what we're going to end up seeing when the announcement's made on the Twitter page is we're going to start seeing most likely a massive increase in volatility in Kaspa. Right now, if you look at Kaspa on CoinMarketCap, we can see that the daily volume is just under 100 million. It's at 89 million. And this will likely, when we were seeing Kaspa make a push towards its all-time high, when it reached at 20.7 cents, it was at 400 million daily volume. When we see this listing, we will likely see it return to that, if not surpass that, going to a $250 million daily volume, 500 million daily volume. We'll see Kaspa most likely, in my opinion, surpass the all-time high, go higher, and when the listing happens, the FOMO will be done. So we'll see probably a little bit more of upward momentum, because then Kraken account holders will then be able to buy Kaspa if they don't want to use, the L banks or the Mexi, whatever else they want to buy it on. And then after that, we'll then see the FOMO run out, and we'll probably see Kaspa correct back down to the price it should be at. But it'll be the first tier 1, most likely the first of many, which is very, very, very big news. So yeah, this listing seems imminent, and it is so very bullish for Kaspa. Not to mention everything else that they're building right now, and the fact that we are seeing constant increasing in hash rate right now. We see Ice River Miner here releasing a new product. The Alf Allo 400GH 100 watts, a new product. Again, the miners are going absolutely nuts for Kaspa right now. Another, like, we see it from Kaspa here. Adoption and network security continue to be strengthening. This is what the hash rate represents. The hash rate represents the increasing in adoption for the project while increasing network security. This just basically means that there's more investor confidence. People see a higher number here and they're like, oh, this project is more safe and it's bigger. So this is better. It's just more, it's more confidence for the investor to get involved. And we have seen the numbers reach higher and higher, now reaching 843 PHS, almost close to 1 extra hash, which is absolutely nuts. And we can see on the 2 miner website, and this is the span of what's happened over a year. This parabolic increase in the span of just 1 month, which is nuts. And we look at it on the daily, it actually peaked here at 844. So we are seeing a lot of very, very positive momentum in adoption and in soon to be price as well for Kaspa. And these exchange listings are going to be able to make so much money off Kaspa, as we are going to be as well, which is absolutely insane, which is why I'm so bullish on Kaspa right now. I've just seen a video where they're making a system so we can use Kaspa at the shops. I'll put it in the Discord after this, pretty interesting. Yeah, please by all means, Leroy. And again, for those who are unaware, I created a free Discord server where I'm interacting with the community, not just Kaspa, but anyone in regards to quick crypto. We're trying to learn more. I made it last week, and I already have almost 200 members. It's growing so quickly, and we are all learning so much. So yeah, by all means, come part of the family. Link to join is in the description and also in the chat as well right here. But yeah, if you want to come and join, free to join, and yeah, just build your knowledge, because knowledge is power. Goku, please, $5 to $10 Kaspa. That would be a dream, and that is going to happen. This bull cycle is up for question. I think it's possible. We'll see $5 to $10 Kaspa in our lifetime, 100% in my opinion, unless something dire happens. But I don't see a world where we don't see that right now. I think this bull cycle is possible, depending on the developments. And it seems like we, as this post states, we may actually get might get listings for both Kraken and potentially Binance before the end of this year, which would be massive. And then in that case, that would further support my theory of definitely reaching a $1 Kaspa before the end of 2024. Usually after a successful mining pool launch, Binance may wait to see the coin's performance and community support before considering the listing. Now, the coin's performance we will have to wait and see, because we don't know how it's going to happen. But the community support for Kaspa is already nuts. So that's not a problem. It's just to see how the coin will perform. And we're going to be seeing the developments with KRC20 when that comes out, and the 10 BPS hard fork, which will make Kaspa even that much better. So there's a lot coming for Kaspa, not to mention the KII, which again, I'll cover a little bit in a moment. But I covered it again in my last stream, and it was so bullish, talking about what's happening with KII, what's happening next month. The gap between the mining pool launch and the Binance listing could be several weeks to a few months. But so there's a chance we can still see it before the end of this year, which is very, very big news. And they're not just these two. As Captain Sat says here, which I've mentioned in my previous streams as well and videos, me, myself, I was almost certain that we see OKX be the first tier 1 to list Kaspa, because OKX are part of the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation. The Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation, right here, the KEF. OKX are part of that. So I thought we'd definitely see OKX first. The first, tier 1 to list Kaspa, but apparently they've been waiting too long and they've taken too much time. So now we're going to see Kraken and Binance, which I'm not complaining about. I definitely take those two over. Kraken and Binance, two massive exchanges. We'll see so much liquidity flood to Kaspa and see massive price rises. I'm sure of that. Mila, welcome. I think I'll take my initial out at $1 and let the profits rise to the top for the bull market. Yeah, I think that's not a bad shout either. You're definitely worth taking profits, right? You're definitely worth taking profits. I mean, what I tend to do in the crypto markets myself is I'll put an investment, normally let's say the brunt of the bull cycle, or even my early investment, I'll put it in my investment and I'll wait to make my investment back. So let's say, just for simple sake, I put $100 into Kaspa, right? $100 into Kaspa at 5 cents. Once it got to 10 cents and I made my $100 back, I'll take that out. So I've still got my $100 to myself, and then I'm just letting the $100 just circulate in the market, continue to make money more and more and more. That's the safest and, safest. It's the best way to make sure you don't lose your money Like, you've made your investment back, and you've now got basically made a £300. You just got into the market. That's like a way of how I tend to conduct my investments. So doing that method, I think, smart. And that's again what I'll be doing. I'll take small stock profits here and there, and keep running the bull ride up. And even in the bear market, I'll take profit, at where I deem to be the top of the bull cycle. But when the bear market comes back in, I'll just put more money in the bear market. I'm not going to be out of Kaspa in my lifetime. David, welcome to the stream, my man. I'm not going to round trip my Kaspa bags. I'll be selling 100% during the bull run and buying back during the bear. If that's what you want to do, my friend, then by all means go for it. Like, I don't think it's a bad shout by any means. And yeah, I mean, that's not what I'm going to do. That's not what I'm going to do, but I don't think it's a bad chart by any means. But at the same time, I'm still sure you'll make a good sizable sum of money in this cycle. So the fact that you're here in the stream and also here in Kaspa before this biggest bull market ever in history, before 2025, I think you're in a very strong position, my friend. Would change my life, would change my wife. Damn, wouldn't we all? Yeah, $5 change my life. I mean, think about it. If you think about it long term as well, like in 10 years, you could potentially see as much as a 50, if not $100 Kaspa. If $5 would change your life, think what it would do to potentially see a $50 Kaspa or even 100. That would be nuts. That would be generational wealth. You could just retire by that point, honestly. Kaspa will crash with the rest of the market, so it makes sense to reinvest your gains instead of round tripping your bags. I mean, yes, ultimately speaking, as it happens with any crypto market, the market will correct after the top of the bull cycle. Now, the factor to take into account. I agree there will be a correction in the market, but the factor to take into account is A, we've got institutional adoption for the first time ever. They may not want the markets to correct too heavily. So that may deter from us seeing a very, very heavy correction in the market. Will be a crash. A crash is just the terminology given to when the market drops over 10%. So a drop over 10%, that's a crash. So we probably will see a crash, if Bitcoin goes through 250k and drops down to 210k, that's a crash because it's over 10%. But ultimately, how far it will crash is still up for debate. Not to mention as well that Kaspa's correction, which will happen, but that's kind of how the markets work, but how heavy it will be will depend on the factors and catalysts happening at that time. I have mentioned, we've got the KII doing amazing things already. We've got tier 1 exchange listings that are going to be coming out more and more and more, which is big news. Some of them this month, some of them potentially this month, some of them end of this year, some of them not even until next year, but this bull cycle, I'm sure we'll see many, if not all of them. And then we've got to keep in mind as well, we've got the developments for Kaspa that have still yet to be determined of an actual date. There was in a stream from Jonathan Polinsky, he said himself that smart contracts take 18 to 24 months or so to get done. I believe that's what he said. So in that regard, that happened back in June or July. So in that regard, we potentially could see smart contracts before the end of the bull cycle, which would see more price volatility, potentially letting us reach $7, if not $10. Or we see it afterwards, and we see it after the bull cycle, that will stem the bleeding of Kaspa. And then we have Dagnite, which will further stem the bleeding of Kaspa, and the continued adoption, which will again further stem the bleeding of Kaspa. Now, I'm not trying to say we won't see a crash, because will Kaspa drop more than 10%? Well, if it reaches, let's say, $5, that means it's got to drop by 50 cents. So if it drops below $4.50, then that's a crash. So yes, we'll see a correction, we'll see a crash. But how heavy it is yet to be debated. That's something we just simply won't be able to know. No one can predict that, really. No one can. Especially now institutional adoption's here, the KII is here. No one can truly tell how big the crash is going to be. But at the same time, I'm holding Kaspa long term. I've invested really, really early at 5 cents, and I've been, buying at dips here and there throughout the time. I was able to call this dip with people in my community. I made the community at such a convenient time. I made it around here as we're seeing this run up. Maybe actually even up near the top here. And me and my community were talking about the market sentiments, the Fed not cutting rates, and we were able to call this crash and buy at the bottoms here. So yeah, that's why the free Discord's been so amazing for me and everyone else in the community already. We've been learning so much. And yeah, I think that I think taking profits is a good, is taking all your profit. That's not the worst thing to do, because Kaspa's a project that, in my opinion, will continue to increase like Bitcoin. As a long-term store of value, it will keep increasing in price. But me, I'm never going to not have any Kaspa. Just me personally. Because I think that's just how I want to go about it. Bingo bango. You joined the Discord yesterday, my man. Welcome. Too bad we don't have more time to stack, which we could have found at launch. I mean, yeah, don't we all? I there's someone that joined. I think his name was Ethereum. Someone who joined my stream, I think, a few days ago, and he mentioned that he got into Kaspa below a cent, like 0.004, something like that. Like basically down here, if not earlier than here. And he has I was there, like, yeah, no, like, you're set. I am beyond jealous. Like, he is so set. He has so much Kaspa and he got in so early. So everyone wish he could get in early. I was fortunate enough to catch it at 5 cents, and I will continue to fill my bags. End of the day, you wish you could buy it early, but think about it. If Kaspa's meant to be, let's say, the next Bitcoin that people say it's going to be, and will reach, the hundreds if not thousands of price targets, you're still sitting at 16 cents. You're still incredibly early. People are saying that buying Kaspa now is like buying Bitcoin at $250. Like, that is insane. So you're still very early with Kaspa, and Kaspa's going to completely take over the energy sector as well. XRP apparently has some good roots in the energy sector. I've seen that. But I mean, this to me is just like, okay, well, if XRP has their fingers in the energy sector, cool, good for them. But Kaspa equally has that as well, and their technology right now, I think, can compete with every crypto in this market. Kaspa won't dip enough to buy back doing that. I mean, again, it's up for debate. It's up for debate because we really don't know what's going to happen. It is hard to determine what's going to happen in the correction, right? But right now, my focus is not on. I will end up talking about and focusing more on my strategy once the top of the bull cycle is in and where the bear market might come to. I'll talk about that then. But right now, that's not my focus at all. My focus is purely on holding Kaspa long term and just talk about all the amazing things coming to Kaspa and potentially where I see a top coming to this market, because people are always asking. And I'm curious myself. I'd love to see, $5, $7, $10 Kaspa. And I think there's a possibility of all of those. But ultimately, I'm not fussed about where the drop will be, because, Kaspa for me, I'm holding long term. I'm going to hold Kaspa until it goes to hundreds and not even thousands. So I'll be holding it for the whole of my life, I'm sure. Maybe take what you need. But Kaspa won't go nearly as down as much rest because it follows the power law. Yeah, following the power law is also a big factor that will make sure that Kaspa price does not diminish too much. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see, wait and see. Bees, my man, welcome. Again, join the daily streams. Good morning, future crypto millionaires. Welcome. Each having to 100k Kaspa, your life changes after the bull run. 100%. 100%. And at the same time, even if you don't have that much, if you're in Kaspa this early, you're going to end up generating life-changing money in this bull cycle. You may not be a millionaire, but you'll generate life-changing money in the cycle. But if you get into Kaspa this early and you've got the strategy of holding it long term, like I do, you will become a millionaire. If Kaspa continues to consolidate and to accumulate price, following the power law, going to the hundreds and whatnot, you will become a millionaire. So that's the kind of theory behind Kaspa. And it seems to be following it. So again, that's why I'm holding Kaspa long term. I think Kaspa's price suppressed by Marathon. I think Kaspa's price suppressed by Marathon selling into Bitcoin. Mara partnered with NiceHash, so they're also selling Kaspa immediately into Bitcoin onto the NiceHash side. I have not seen any evidence of that. If you have the links to that, please, by all means, if you're in the Discord server, then link it to the Discord server. I'd love to see it. From what I've seen, I know there was an interview where they were talking about potentially, the CEO stated, yeah, we could sell our Kaspa to buy up Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure, and I believe the reason he said that was to deter the FUD growing with the Bitcoin maxis who, are looking at Marathon because they diversified. Because if they just said, oh yeah, we're switching to Kaspa now, they get fuming. They go mental. So they're trying to, crowd control, so to speak. And they haven't sold, to my knowledge, they haven't sold their Kaspa. They said they could, but they haven't sold it. They're holding it for a reason. They diversified for a reason. Right now, it's more profitable for them to be making money mining Kaspa. And in fact, again, this is what I've been showed in my community. I believe it was Cody, my man, shout out Cody again. Bitcoin miners' reserves are now at January 2021 levels. The miner sell-off appears complete. Point being is, the Bitcoin miners are reaching new all-time lows for making money for mining Bitcoin. They are making no money. It's not profitable at all. So this means either, well, we'll see a switch to Kaspa, which is probably not going to happen. I think we'll see some switch to Kaspa, but the ultimate point is we're gearing up to seeing this reversal in the market and a pump to the upside, because now the miners are at a critical point. they're not making money from Bitcoin anymore. They need to start making money. So I have to start seeing the market reverse, and it's all gearing up for what's happening in the next month and 2 months to come, which is what I've been saying. The next 1 or 2 months will be very, very big for crypto, for Kaspa in general. It's a lot to look forward to right now. Kaspa only went up during the last bear market. Exactly. Kaspa launched in the worst bear market in history, and we're now about to see Kaspa's first bull market, which is again what was put in this post. All the reason to be, bullish on Kaspa, first bull market. Just so much coming for Kaspa. I got around 10 cents. Oh, you got into Kaspa around 10 cents, average around 13 now, still adding, absolutely still extremely early Bitcoin. Exactly. Like, even if you get in at, I know some people who started joining the streams and started getting into Kaspa when it peaked. People who actually bought Kaspa when the bull market was happening, which is always a bit risky, buying when it's pumping. As soon as it broke the all-time high, people started buying here. And obviously now Bitcoin's come back down quite considerably since then. I think it's down 20%. From the all-time high point up here, it's currently down 20%, yes. So that technically is a crash for Kaspa. So that, that sucks for those who did get in at top, but at the same time, I would not worry. Right? If you're DCAing, then hopefully, like people in my Discord server did as well, you would have got in around these low points here, 13, 12.8. Even I got in again later on around 15 when it dropped back down here again. I'm hoping we'll see another correction back down to this low point of 15 again, and I'll get in again. God forbid we please get back down at 13 again. I'll go in, much heavier. That's what I'm waiting for right now. But then if you get in at, this top of 20, that's, again, you're still very, very early. Like, you're still very, very early. Kaspa, if Kaspa reaches at least $1, which there's no doubt in my mind it'll reach $1, you've made a 5x. So I'm not worried about Kaspa at this price target. It's extremely undervalued. And I'm saying 10k Kaspa long term, that's a smart decision. Being 54 years old, I'm kind of stuck. Should I sell my Kaspa and retire, or hold for 5 years and work a job I absolutely hate? Well, DJ Tommy Boy. I'm not a financial advisor by all means, so this is not financial advice at all. Kaspa for me is going to do amazing in this bull cycle. I don't know how much you're going to invest into Kaspa. I'm not asking you to tell me either. That's not my position to know. But I think that Kaspa is great as a long-term investment, a store of value like Bitcoin, and also a medium of exchange and a peer-to-peer electronic currency. Me right now, this is my job. I'm new in YouTube content creation. That's my job. I enjoy my job. I love talking to you guys. And, whenever I end up, and every little side hustle I do on the side or whatnot, because I'm trying to constantly make research, make more money, I'll put my money into Kaspa, keep consolidating more and more, keep accumulating more, and I'm going to hold long term. So, and don't be wrong, all the work I do, I don't always enjoy it. This sort of stuff I love doing. I love doing this, but there are other parts of other jobs that I do that I don't enjoy doing. But at the same time, I do it because I know I put in the grind now, give myself 5 years, and I'll be blissed, very blissed. So I'm not worried at all. So how will you go about it? I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Should I buy 300 Kaspa now? Right now Kaspa's up 2.5%, 16.6 cents. I think we are still likely going to see lower lows incoming. I think we are in a position where we're going to see a market reversal. We're going to start seeing some upside momentum for Kaspa and for crypto definitely soon. But I still think we've got lower lows incoming, personally. So it could really, it is up to you. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Me personally, I'm waiting for Kaspa to potentially come back down to 15 again. Because I'm hoping, if it doesn't go back down to that and it starts pushing up, if Kaspa reaches, 17, I'll be like, okay, I'll go then. I think 17 is going to be another level of resistance for me, I believe. But I'm wanting us to come back down to support level down here. I think it doesn't really matter what price you're buying Kaspa at now and what your average is right now, 10, 15, 18, when it goes to 3.5 next year. Yeah, exactly. That's precisely what I've been saying. I don't think it matters right now what price you're getting at Kaspa. Ultimately, if you're in Kaspa long term, buying at any price right now before 2024, before tier ones, before KLC20. KLC20 will be big, but that may not cause, a god candle in Kaspa. When you see the first tier one and then Binance probably follow very soon afterwards, that will cause parabolic price movement for Kaspa, especially Binance. Look how, 13.5 billion, 24-hour trade volume, almost 11 million weekly visits. That will do insane things for Kaspa's price action. So if you're in any time now, you're very fortunate. And if you're holding it long term, this is going to be Bitcoin 2.0 like people are saying it to be, and it's going to reach, hundreds if not thousands of dollars, then getting in any time now is Perfect. David, man, you be selling your kid's kidney, selling your house, man, you want to live with me? Stop it. Stop it, my man. Although I agree, you can never get enough Kaspa, never too much Kaspa. If you look at the chart, zoom into a couple of days ago, Cubic founder coordinated a short at 70 cents and the community dump. Yes, know what? I did see that in on Shy. I think Shy tweeted that earlier. Where's Shy? Where's Shy? Here. I saw Shy tweet that earlier. Yeah, here. So here we see Cubic founder actually trying to rally his community to affect Kaspa's price. The fear is so palpable, you can taste it. Like, that is crazy. That is actually crazy that the founders are now trying to fund a project to lower its price because, what, they're worried? I mean, whatever their reasonings are for it. that's just funny. It's honestly just funny. There's not ever going to be a time where Kaspa's not having FUD. Everyone's going to FUD Kaspa because no one likes the pressure that Kaspa just exuberates onto people. Kaspa is so threatening to other projects because it's doing what everyone else can't do. Solving trilemma, fair launch proof of work, proving that proof of work can work. It's literally Bitcoin's, younger son and the improved version. Like, everyone's threatened by it, and it's going to keep increasing in value as time goes on. And projects like Cubic, how good it will do is not, again, I don't know, and I don't care, because if they're FUDding Kaspa, great, FUD Kaspa more, please, by all means, get your community to gang up, so we'll see a bigger drop. If they FUD it so bad that Kaspa goes down to here, I'll be, I might buy Cubic, just as a thank you for him. Honestly, like it's so, for me, I don't understand how you could FUD Kaspa. There's such little reason for me to understand why people would FUD Kaspa. There's so much going on in this project, and there's so much bullish things happening that it just makes sense to me. It doesn't really. I've got the exact bottom for 50x long. Wow, my man, you are living life, I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's a joker. He's a joker. I love this man. David is my G. My first buy at the top of 5 cents. Look at it now at 16. It's a real steal. Exactly. I mean, you're similar to me. I looked at Kaspa at 3 cents and I was not sure about it. I saw the correction. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get into it. But I didn't do my research. And once I saw it start and go back up and reach 5 at the top, I was like, okay, I'm doing my research now. I was like, okay, no, I'm definitely getting in now. And I caught it around here before we saw the pump to 15. And it's just been going up slowly since then. Yes, the hash rate's been going parabolic, and a lot of people complaining the hash rate's going parabolic, but Kaspa's price is not increasing with it. And I'm like, there's not enough liquidity in the market right now. Of course it's not. The hash rate's going parabolic because it needs to, because there's a lot coming to this project, but there's not enough liquidity in the market for us to see Kaspa pump. Simple as that. Saving 250k to 400k Kaspa for long-term separating on a delicate wallet and put seed phase on one card. Yeah, I mean, yeah, simply put, if you're holding Kaspa, I think if you're holding any crypto, you need to have a cold storage or a hardware wallet. Keep your crypto safe, not your keys, not your crypto. I use Tangem, and I use L-Bank for buying my Kaspa because it's the cheapest fee, 0.1%. So that's how I go about it as well. Looks like I've got a lot of beef in the chat. I'm not going to be covering the beef because that is not what this stream's about. It's about bringing the community together and talking about crypto, right? So about crypto, bringing the love community here, and we're going to explain all the Kaspa news. That's why we're so bullish on Kaspa, why we're in the stream today. So I'm not going to cover all the beef. I'm not going to tell you guys to stop it because you're your own people, but we're trying to we're trying to spread the love about Kaspa here, right? Kaspa is the only one I hold, don't lose sleep over. I'll keep adding to until about $1. I'm waiting until the bear market. Like you said, Kaspa is at least 5-10 year hold lifetime. Exactly, precisely. I am going to keep buying Kaspa for the long term, and I sleep soundly. I hold other projects besides Kaspa, but Kaspa's by far and away my biggest bag. I think it's like over 70% of my portfolio is in Kaspa. I hold other projects because I hedge my bets because I think those other projects have potential because of what I've been seeing in resource papers and whatnot from big institutions. But Kaspa's by far my biggest bag. I have the biggest faith in this project right now. I'm one of the bigger Kaspa miners in US. Yes, you can auto-convert Kaspa to Bitcoin as soon as it's mined with nice hashing. Yes, I think that's what Mara's doing. If that's what Mara's doing, then, fair enough. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, like, if Marathon decide to sell their Kaspa, they're just missing out. Like, that's how I see it. I don't... Marathon diversifying into Kaspa in itself is very, very bullish, and they might have been doing that just to save their Bitcoin investors, because like I said, and I showed, Bitcoin miners are making no money, so maybe they did that to just save themselves. But at the end of the day, whether they keep Kaspa or not, I think that it's in their best interest, most likely, to hold Kaspa, because especially in terms of mining, there's higher ROI with Kaspa than it is with Bitcoin. At least that's, from my knowledge, that's what it is. So if they're selling Kaspa, fine. I'm still not worried. Mara still has their main public cash wallet of 900 million, but they are also selling $1 per kWh, kilowatt per hour. Marcia also even said it. If they were smart, they would hold Kaspa, but they are, if they are smart, again, it's like you said, if they're smart, they'd hold Kaspa. If they're not, so be it. But end of the day, whatever happens, I'm still bullish on the future of this project. If Marathon sell, sucks to suck. It sucks to suck, but I think that'd be an unwise decision. Mr. Joel, people don't understand that the amount of millions and millions invested into hardware for hash rate, the amount of money being invested into hardware for people for a project to reach almost one as a extra hash is insane, right? So and Kaspa continue to rise more and more and more. Again, looking at this is what it shows from the daily right now, and this is the all time, or even just from the year. Look at the year, we see it going up, and it happened all in the last month, from 1st of July, from 366 into just a month and a half since then. We're now reaching 840. That's showcasing the growth of adoption and security in this project, which is very, very bullish for it long term. And Kaspa is going to dominate the cycle, there's no doubt about that. How much do we set aside for taxes when we pull profits? That's, I'm not, again, I'm not focused too much on that. I'm, again, holding Kaspa long term. It's worth looking into, definitely. So I will look into it. I saw people in my chat talking about it. Well, there you go. Real PG said 20%. But again, for me, I'm not taking too much out of Kaspa. Again, I'll probably take little to nothing out of Kaspa. I'll take a decent size at where I believe the top to be, $5, $7, whatever it may be. But I'm holding Kaspa all the way. So, just make sure you have that down. Real PG said 20%. And we talked about it in my community earlier as well. It's definitely something to look into. And I'm equally going to do more research into that as well when I decide to take out Kaspa as well. So make sure you're on that. But anyways, to get back into the video, as I mentioned, hash rate going up more and more. I'll get back into this post about Kraken a little bit later, for those who join the stream a little bit later. And also if you joined a little bit late, feel free to leave a like on the stream, share with your friends, and also if you're new, subscribe for more, because I've been doing these streams daily, and I've been loving doing these streams daily, and I'll continue to do them daily, same time every single day, and it's been a lot of fun. And if I don't stream at the same time, I'll let people know in my free Discord server. Again, the link's in the chat right now. And let people know in the Discord server. I'm also just spreading knowledge in there, building up our knowledge, because knowledge is power, and we're trying to find the true crypto gems to find the big project that will make us the most gains. We can see right now, Kaspa sitting now at almost 16.6 cents, up 2.46% on the daily time frame, and there's a lot coming. And I think we're going to see a market reversal very, very shortly for Kaspa, very, very shortly. I think we'll see that because we got a lot of crypto developments happening as well. We can see here, Bitcoin overtakes Russia, India, Australia, and is now the 6th top monetary asset in the world. That is massive, massive news. We can see the lift here. Bitcoin is now at number 6, above the United Kingdom as well now, just below Japan, China, Eurozone, United States, and gold. And it's only going to continue growing as the market flips. So we're now starting to see Bitcoin gain more and more traction as people starting to accept Bitcoin. Not to mention as well, again, you have interviews like this that's happening constantly more and more now. Not even 5 years ago, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the largest financial asset manager in the world, a $10 trillion asset manager, stated that he did not have faith in Bitcoin. He thought it was a scam. And now he is stating openly on CNBC, on live TV, on mainstream media, that he was wrong about Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin is fantastic. Right? And this is very, very big news for the future of the crypto market, right? The future of the crypto market is very, very big news. Now, I have conflicting interest with Bitcoin, right? Because there's sources of information that suggest that Bitcoin is going to become more and more centralized. This is the co-creator of blockchain, a man named W. Scott Stornetta. He's one of the few members quoted in the Satoshi white paper, the original Satoshi white paper, and he states that Bitcoin centralization is only going to accelerate more and more and more, and that Bitcoin has it's just moved away from Satoshi's original vision, and it's now become a great store of value, but that's it. It can't be a peer-to-peer anymore. So in that regard, we're seeing this anyways. Meta Planet buys up another 500 million yen worth of Bitcoin. BlackRock and Fidelity own a combined 524,000 Bitcoin worth $31.6 billion for the ETFs. Considering Bitcoin has like 21 million supply, that's, a 142 fraction of how much of Bitcoin. That's actually insane. So we're seeing Bitcoin being scooped up more and more by the big institutions, which is great because Bitcoin's fast going to continue increasing by that point, but it's going to become more and more of a store of value, more centralized. But at the same time, this is just proof that crypto is going to become more and more popular, and when Bitcoin has become this great store of value, but it's no longer utilized for what people seem to believe it will be, which is fair launch, medium of exchange, whatever. We'll see the diversity into other projects as well. You're concerned about Bitcoin being centralized at for XRP. Yeah, I've explained my reasons for that, SW. My reasons for that is because all the institutions, they don't talk about Bitcoin being used as a store of value, as a peer-to-peer electronic currency. And I hold a very small amount of XRP because I understand the shortcomings of it being centralized. My biggest bags in Kaspa by a long shot, I hold a small amount of XRP to diversify my assets. Because XRP, if it does take off, has a higher ROI than Bitcoin does. And also, you've got the IMF, the World Economic Forum, the Bank of America, the BIS, the central banks of Brazil, the central banks of India, the Hong Kong monetary. You've got so many other massive institutions and governments talking about Ripple and XRP. So in that regard, I think it's in my best interest, personally, me, to diversify my portfolio, to have a little bit of XRP just in case. But because it's centralized, I don't hold a lot of it because I understand the risks that come with it. Bitcoin, you got the founder, the co-creator of the blockchain, people who were in the original white paper for Satoshi, who was saying it's going to become more centralized. And yes, people are bullish on Bitcoin, but that's just great because Bitcoin, for me, is an indicator where the market's going to go. But the ROI for Bitcoin is not as great for projects like Kaspa or potentially XRP or these altcoins. I'm not saying Bitcoin's bad. I'm not at all. I'm not trying to. I love Bitcoin for what it's done, and it's laid a great foundation, a great way for everything else. But I'm just stating that I do hold XRP for the fact that institutions seem to be very highly sorting after, very highly hold it in very high regard. And I don't hold a lot of it because I understand the risk with it. I hold Kaspa more because there is much less risk with it because it's decentralized and it's fair launch, no ICOs, no pre-allocations. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I'm not telling anyone to invest in these projects. This is just my 2 cents of what I hold. I don't think Bitcoin's bad. If that's how it came across, then I apologize. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean that Bitcoin's bad by any means. I'm just saying that Bitcoin right now is growing more in popularity, which is very, very good, but it's becoming more centralized as well, which is a problem. Bitcoin's, one of Bitcoin's best traits is that it's decentralized. But if it's becoming more centralized, that's a problem because that's driving even further away from Bitcoin, from Satoshi's original vision, which is not good. How long are you holding your Kaspa bags? Are you going to incrementally sell? I mean, yeah, I'll hold my Kaspa bags, my whole life. I'll sell a bit at $1, bit at $2, bit at $3. I'll be selling incrementally at pit points here and there. I'll probably take a bigger portion out at the top of the bull market and get back in the bear market. But ultimately, yeah, I'll be holding Kaspa, I imagine, my whole life. With the hash rate like that, when Kaspa pumps, it will pump hard. Exactly. With the hash rate rising higher and higher and higher, when the pump happens, when the tier ones come, when the KLC20 launches, when the KII announce an industry partnership with Kaspa, when all of that happens all at the same time, when 10 blocks per second come out, Kaspa's pump will be very, very violent, in my opinion. If you find a crypto advisor, they can set up a crude before you sell, which my understanding is basically a charity set up on your name that pays you over the lifetime. Well, there you go. Or you can just get a crypto Roth IRA and make unlimited trade taxes free. You don't have to penalty when you're individual. I mean, you got other strategies there from Bingo, Bango. There's other ways you can deal with the whole taxes situation when you're trying to take out your Kaspa at the end of the day. Bitcoin becoming so centralized, Casper is becoming more decentralized. The algorithm of Casper is designed that way. Yeah. But I'm ultimately trying to say I have a lot more faith and belief in Casper, in its ROI and its future than I do in any other project in this market. There's not even close, it is not even considered in my mind that another project could flip Casper. Nowhere near. Casper is following Bitcoin's footsteps, but it's adhering to what Bitcoin couldn't do, to be a peer-to-peer electronic currency, a medium exchange. And Bitcoin is so big, and it's done amazing things for the crypto market. When Bitcoin pumps, the market pumps with it. But Bitcoin's becoming more centralized, which is great because it means we'll see more money in the market, and that money will trickle down into the altcoins, which means it will pump my Casper bag more. But for adhering to Satoshi's original vision, that's bad for Bitcoin. But Casper is where my heart and my soul is at. That's what I believe in. So I'm just stating that as a matter of fact, and I state the fact that I hold other projects that have these similar shortcomings of centralization, but a small amount of it because I know that that's a problem. But I hold it just for the sake of hedging my bets. If Coinbase lists Casper in September 2025, all this was staged. Yeah, no, I think we'll see Coinbase list Casper. I would not be surprised if we see it as September 2025. I think, again, we've got connections to Coinbase and Casper already, with the likes of their venture arm, their Polychain Capital. I'll bring up the source. I don't have it up with me. Damn it. Polychain Capital is a venture arm of Coinbase, and they initially funded $8 million to fund DAG Labs, the initial research of Casper. So they were part of the early, development of Casper. Not to mention as well that they have connections to BlackRock, who is the shareholder of Marathon, who is decentralized their portfolio to include Casper. So there's connections to Coinbase and Casper, definitely. I would not be surprised to see a listing in this bull cycle. We'll likely see Kraken and Binance for the end of this year. And to answer this question from Michael here, do you see a Casper at $1 before the end of this year? And yes. At this current stage in time, I think again, it's not set in stone. It's not set in stone, but I think it's very possible. Right now, it's in at 16 cents. It's quite a ways to go, yes, but you got to think about what developments are still incoming for us, right? We're in August. You've got September, October, November, December. You've got 4 months. And in that time, the Fed rate cuts are going to come in. We're going to see KRC20 come out, most likely 10 block per second for Rust on mainnet as well. We will see exchange listings most likely with Kraken and potentially Binance as well, from the looks of things, from what I've spoke about here, which I'll get into again in a moment. You have the likes of the election, which will be a big catalyst as well. You're going to see more adoption for regulations taking place, stablecoin bills coming into play, and Casper's going to launch their own stablecoin as well. There's so much coming in the next 4 months that I think we could generally see a massive, pump to the upside for Casper before the end of this year, and potentially reach a $1 Casper. Step Keek. 100% selling is foolish. You will never know how heavy the dump will be. With more adoption through ETFs and adoption in general, you're just going to have to pay a lot of taxes as well, like others. That's part of the reason why I'm not going to be completely all out of Casper, because you can't ever judge the market, and you could end up selling completely for the market to correct just a tiny bit and then potentially even to turn back. That's unlikely, but you never know, because this is, again, we're all in new territory here with institutional investments, and the KII may do massive things for Casper as well. Institutions directly flooding into Casper, so I'm not going to sell my whole bag. I'm going to take profits, but I'm not going to sell my whole bag. To be completely out of Casper is nuts. It's the Bitcoin 2.0, yeah. I agree with you. I got into Bitcoin in the early days, but Maxis had abandoned the real freedom peer-to-peer narrative. Casper is the purest asset ever invented. Yeah. Also think about it as well. You have the likes of Bitcoin Maxis, the account. I'll try and find it. The account named Lucky, which I'm sure if you've watched my streams, you've seen me, all of my videos, I've put it in my previous videos as well. But an account named Lucky, who is a Bitcoin Maxi since 2015, who's been into Bitcoin since 2015, and he has 2.2 million followers. He has now started becoming very, very bullish on Casper and its future projection. And here it is. There you go. Lucky. 2.2 million followers, Bitcoin OG since 2015. And he's now saying, despite the bad market cap is showing impressive strength, talk about the bullish points happening right now. And he's just one of many. One of many Bitcoin maxis who's jumped ship because the Bitcoin maxis have understood that Bitcoin can't adhere to the peer-to-peer anymore. It's lost that. It's failed in that regard. But Casper is adhering to that and achieving that so far. Obviously, we have to see the massive adoption that Bitcoin has to see if it will still stick true to it. But I think it can right now. It's got the technology to do so in the protocols. And they're building more and more, and at the perfect time with institutional adoption about to come into play. Can Kaspa hit 40 cents in December or September? That being next month. I think if you're talking about in September, so before the end of September, I think it is possible, because I think it's possible, but it might be a bit unlikely. Purely because the Kraken listing will come out, I'm sure, in September, if not end of this month, like I say in the title, potentially. And if that happens, that'd be great. We'll have the KRC20 out by then as well, which would be fantastic. But I think we're still in September. That's when the Fed rate cuts will come in. And as history has shown, have I got it up? No. Have I retweeted it? Please tell me I've retweeted it. No. Yeah, here. Wait, no. Oh, wait. Give me one moment. I've got it in my Discord. I've got it in my Discord server. I was talking about the Fed rate cuts. Okay. You know, I'll get it ready for the next stream because I don't want to be wasting too much time. But effectively, every time the Fed cuts rates, every single time without fail, the market's correct. The market's correct every time the Fed cuts rates. So in September, when this is going to happen, there's a 100% chance at this point that it's going to happen in September. We will see the market correct. All on-risk assets, you know, real estate will probably correct, stocks will correct, crypto will correct. In September, this will happen. So we'll see most likely a lot of consolidation in the meantime, potentially some upwards momentum towards the end of this month. September will come around, we'll see a correction in the market, and then we'll see Kaspa push above. If we get the Kraken listing before the end of this month, we might see Kaspa push above 20 cents up to maybe 23, and then we'll see the correction back down, and then it'll start pushing up again with the continued momentum with KRC20 and Kraken and what's to follow from that as well. Kaspa is the new financial awakening that Bitcoin maxis abandoned. They changed narrative to store value to protect the bags. Exactly. Yeah, like Bitcoin maxis were talking about Bitcoin being the best there is, and a lot of them now have realized that that's not the case anymore. So they've changed the narrative from being the best of it to being the best store of value, to be the digital gold. Which, I mean, yeah, cool, but that's not what it was meant to be. So, you know, you can say they can say what you will, but Kaspa is sticking true to that. Do you think Kaspa will pump before or after Bitcoin or Ethereum? I think we are going to see multiple pumps at multiple different stages from multiple different assets. And we're going to see multiple pumps from multiple different assets at different stages in this market. Because we're entering into a market that's still heavily focused on Bitcoin. You know, everyone's getting into Bitcoin, especially more so now than ever. But all these markets are now starting to have some real development. Kaspa in itself, XRP will have some as well with their institutional adoption as well. XLM, you know, other real world utility tokens are starting to make some real moves, I'm sure. We'll see Bitcoin have their own run. Ethereum probably have their own run with the ETFs as well. I don't like Ethereum personally. I think it's rubbish, but point being is I think we'll see loads of runs individually. Bitcoin will drive most of the run, I'm sure. But I think we'll see Kaspa. I think we'll see Kaspa probably have a mini pump before Bitcoin, and then follow Bitcoin in suit, and then just have bigger pumps in comparison to Bitcoin. If we look at Kaspa overall right now, Kaspa to Bitcoin, we can see that Kaspa right now is outperforming Bitcoin. I mean, on the daily right now, but also in general from its launch. And I think we're going to see this continued momentum throughout this market 100%. That's where I see it as well. Hero or zero with Kaspa all in. Damn straight. Damn straight. So should we sell before the rate cut and buy the dip? I mean, it depends how you're buying into Kaspa. I'm not selling Kaspa at all. I'm holding Kaspa for the long term. I think the more I hold Kaspa, the better. The rate cuts will likely see a market correction, but again, in that month as well in September, the Fed are already printing money this month. And they split the Fed printing into this month, September next month, and October. The largest amount of money printing is happening next month, and that's to combat the Fed rate cuts. So we'll see more liquidity in the market. So it's really telling where the market will go. I think we will see a correction. Now, how heavy it is, I don't know. We won't be able to tell, but there most likely will be one in September. So, I mean, me personally, I'm not going to sell, but I will buy dips. I will be, waiting. I'm hoping to see another correction in Kaspa's price in the, next week or two, there's potential of that, but it may not happen. We have to wait and see. And then when it comes to September, I will start, preparing to what I believe will happen as a rate cut, and we'll see a correction in the market, and I'll buy a dip, and then we'll probably see a reversal maybe a week or two after that. We'll see how quickly the economy recovers from that, because there'll be money printing and whatnot. And that'll just be another opportunity for the institution to buy more crypto as well. So they want this to happen as well. To time the dip is very risky. Yeah, I mean that's ultimately, yeah. I wouldn't sell to buy the dip, because that is risky. I will aim to buy the dip, but I'm not going to sell to do it. I'll just put more money in, and I'll just look to where I believe I'll wherever. Let's say, come the 30th of August, right? So like 2 days before September, and the Feds had their meeting about cutting rates. Let's say Kaspa's up at its all-time high again. I would most likely think, okay, I might think Kaspa might correct back down to 17, maybe lower, who knows? But I think it'll come down to 17. If it does, I'll buy here. If not, so be it. I'm not too worried, but I would just buy when it comes back down to here. That's how I go about it. Historically, September is the worst month in the stock market. They could roll over into the crypto market as well. Yeah, well, point being is the stock markets and crypto markets aren't too dissimilar, because they are deemed as on-risk assets. The difference is crypto is more highly volatile because it's a smaller niche market. But that's growing bigger now thanks to institutional investments, and also like the stock market, which had the likes of AMC and Nvidia and all them people. They're now starting to get into crypto as well. Google get into crypto as well. Amazon get into crypto as well. So this market's growing very, very quickly, but they are, again, like two sides of the same coin. So if the stock market goes down, typically that will affect crypto as well. Especially if the stock market goes down because of a financial crisis in the market, like in the whole financial market. If it's just the stock market, then fine. But if it's the whole financial market, then that will affect crypto. So September will be, most likely we'll see corrections. That's why the Fed printing money. And I'll just keep looking at where I believe I'll see good opportunity to buy, and I'll buy then. Yep. At what price will you sell Kaspa bag? Maybe in the summer dump 2025. I mean, I'm taking stock profits all the way up to $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever, and I'll take where I deem the top may be as a bigger portion than the rest. But ultimately, I'm never going to sell all my Kaspa. I'm going to still hold it until I'm, for my kids, in their inheritance, let's just say. But if it dips when they cut rates every time, it should be easy to time. I mean, if it was easy to time everything, you would be a millionaire. Nothing's easy to time, and it's not necessarily the timing. It's where it will come down to. Like I'm every single time in September, the market seemed to correct. That seemed to be apparent. Happens every single time. Now, when in September, that's to be determined. We'll have to see when that happens. Most likely at the beginning of the month, but we'll have to see. And I'll be letting people know through my free Discord again. Links in the chat right now. I'm much more active on there, and I'm, we're all talking together constantly about the updates in the crypto market, trying to build our knowledge and whatnot to help analyze the markets and find more crypto gems. But the problem is, we might be able to call when the market might do that, but we don't know what it's going to come down to. It could be a crash as significant as this, a 40% crash down to 12.5, 12.6. Or it could just be a correction down to 17 cents, which would not be that much. So we don't know how far it's going to go. Hey guys, I paid a super chat this morning on Tech asking him about Kaspa, and he said he liked Kaspa just because of the project, but he didn't know what KLC is. So we're exactly. Like there are a lot of people in this space who have probably heard of Kaspa now because it's number 22 on CoinMarketCap, so it's become a sizable, notable project, but they don't know they don't know enough information about Kaspa, the actual what it is, about what KLC 20 is, the blockchain, the stablecoin coming out, the fact that it's not got tier 1 exchange listing yet. They just know that Kaspa is a project that seemingly looks good, has a decent potential, but they don't know the ins and outs like we do, which is why we are so early, which is why we are so fortunate to be here right now. Like we are so very early, it's not even a joke. Yeah, he liked it because, that's the thing. Anytime that someone asks me in my chat what I think of this project, it's the same thing anyone does. You look at the chart, you think, what's the chart look like? Look at their listings, and like, okay, it looks good, it looks bad, make a decision. You look at Kaspa's chart, and it's impossible to, think the project's going to be bad. Look at its all-time chart, just up. Look at its listings. No centralized exchanges, but no big ones yet. So that's a lot more to come for Kaspa. There's a lot to come for Kaspa. $4 billion market cap, also very, very good. And it's going to keep going up from there. And it's going to blow all these projects, other crypto projects, out of the water, completely out of the water. It will probably reach top 10 this cycle. I would not be surprised. Even guys that are in crypto day in and day out don't know what Kaspa actually does, and Kaspa in the top 25. It's actually scary how Kaspa can fly after KRC20 and tier 1s. Again, need I say more? It's as simple as that. We are very, very early. Now it's approaching 5 o'clock over here. It's almost reached 1 hour in the stream. I do actually have other things to do today, unfortunately, so I can't make it a long stream, but I'll get through the questions as quickly as I can. And I'll be back on tomorrow, as always, at 4 p.m. GBT, 12 p.m. midday EST, 9 a.m. PT, and 11:30 p.m. in Australia for my mans who are Australia Leroy, and my other man who is Jojo02 Fire, who's also in Australia as well. Yeah, to quickly go through the rest of the questions, but also quickly just to go through some other stuff that I didn't get to cover in this stream. Again, just for those who are now joining now, effectively in the server they have talked about how the fact that when Kraken puts on their roadmap that they are planning to make a listing, which of course Kraken did that not too long ago with Kaspa. They did it last week, or just a little less than a week ago, by announcing a Kaspa listing, as we can see here. Typically when that happens, we will see a listing 4 to 6 weeks after, so 1 month, 1.5 months. And there's several factors that are to be included, the likes of regulatory compliance, which unfortunately in the United States regulatory compliance is still a little bit shaky, but they're trying to flesh that out now, which is good, so we might see that happen quicker. Technical integration, so how long it will take or how complicated it is for Kraken to integrate Kaspa onto their exchange, going through numerous tests. The market conditions, which right now I would say it's the perfect time to list Kaspa because the market's in a downturn. If not, it'll be September when the market might correct further. So I think it's great for them to list Kaspa to do it right now. It's undervalued and it's approaching a boiling point. And also with project readiness, how far along the project is developed, and Kaspa is developed. Kaspa's still very, very early on in its development. There's still a lot to come through it, which is great news. The only problem I have, the only thing I'm worried about is the hard fork, because hard forks can be complicated, which 10 blocks per second. That's my only complication with that. But other than that, Kaspa is, technology-wise, it's approaching a boiling point. It's a very, very unique position. So I think there's a high possibility we'll see Kraken list Kaspa as it states here, in 4 to 6 weeks, but potentially even earlier than that, because as of May 20th, 2024, so 3 months ago, they're planning to accelerate new listings at Kraken. So when they add to their roadmap, they're streamlining their listing experience or providing a view into decision-making process. It's an important part of Kraken's mission to accelerate the global adoption of crypto. So they're now accelerating their plans to get crypto projects on their roadmap onto the exchange quicker. So we may actually see Kaspa listed on Kraken before the end of this month, if not, potentially in September when we see the correction after the rate cuts. So again, very, very bullish what we're going to see in this market. And we're seeing, Bitcoin growing more and more in adoption, which is great as well. Seeing people get more into Bitcoin, more into crypto, buying more Bitcoin. And the miners are not making any money at all. We're at such a low point for the miners. They need to either jump ship to Kaspa, or better still, they need to just get Bitcoin to start pumping again. So they need to see this reversal happen sooner rather than later. So we're going to probably see a reversal within the next 2 months, I'm sure. In my opinion, I think the next 2 months, leading to October up to the election November, we'll start seeing a lot of upward momentum. And we have, and this also, I'll cover this in, I've covered this in previous streams. This is also very, very good, basically just showcasing that, it's basically just a graph that will showcase that there's a lot of liquidity that's going to be flowing into the market very, very soon. I'll get into it more in detail at a later date, but this is also very big. And even that Binance is now resuming operation in India. So again, a lot coming for crypto, a lot of bullish sentiment. And keep in mind that people who are, experts in this space, so to speak, like the CEO of XRP, Ripple, CEO Brad Garlinghouse, he predicts that we will see, and not just him, other people as well have predicted we'll see a $5 trillion market cap for crypto by the end of this year. So if that's the case, then, 4 months to go, we're going to see a very, very bullish 4 months. The bull market is on the verge of starting. And Kaspa is something that I think will reach $1 in this bull cycle. I'm very, very bullish for this project, and there's a lot coming through it. KRC20, I'm looking forward to that happening at the end of this month, if not September as well. I made a video actually yesterday talking about this with Matt Kaiser, confirming the energy sector is going to start transacting with Bitcoin, which he's right and wrong, is going to transact with Kaspa. And basically in the video I just showcased that there's a lot of sentiment right now with a lot of momentum, a lot of catalysts going to happen where into September there's a lot of things coming. Kraken listing potentially, the KII industry partnership and the enterprise event. We got the KRC20 being launched as well. There's so much happening in early September with the rate cuts and everything like that. I think Kaspa's got a very, very strong position to be in right now. So this is a, I'm very excited to see Kaspa here, and I want it to go lower. So because I know it's going to be reversing very, very shortly. I don't know if you know Crypto Galaxy. People always talk about Kaspa reaching $10 next year. Is that really possible? For me to be too optimistic. I do know Crypto Galaxy. He's been covering Kaspa for a very long time in the space. And yeah, $10 next year. If you're basing it off the power law, then yes, it should reach. Well, next year, so end of 2025. I think it's a possibility, but I think it'll be a tough reach, because as much as Kaspa's got a lot of bullish momentum happening right now with it, $10 would be massive. But I think you need to see so many developments happen for Kaspa at that point. KRC20, 10 per second, the tier 1 exchange listings, all of them pretty much, not just Binance and Kraken, Coinbase and OKX as well, like Robinhood, all of the big exchange listing Kaspa. I think you need to see that as well. On top of everything else, I think you also need to see smart contracts. A smart contract will allow Kaspa to compete with the likes of Ethereum and beat Ethereum. So I think $10 is possible, but probably a bit too optimistic. My conservative prediction is 3. My realistic is 5. My hopeful to potential is 7, and my dream number would be 10 and above. But I think that's a bit much. But we'll have to see. If smart contract and everything else comes out, then I don't see why not. The KRI also is a wild card, and institutional investments into crypto are wild cards that could see much more money into this market than we could ever predict. So that's how I see it. But again, I'm looking long term. I'm not being emotional. I'm being logical. I'm thinking about everything coming out, and I'm thinking, yeah, Kaspa could do that, but I'm holding it, for my life. So I don't care personally how quick we get these price volatilities and where they reach to. I know it's going to keep increasing. So in that regard, I know I'm going to keep making money. Only thing I learned about Kaspa is because Plan C on X mentioned it followed the power law and bought a large bag of 14 cents. Yeah, Plan C is also a very he's been following crypto Bitcoin for a while. He's very knowledgeable in the indicators for the power law as well, and Kaspa follows it. And in that regard, if Kaspa just follows the power law, it will continue to increase in price. Someone said in my last stream, I think it reached by 2029 it reached over $100, which is insane. And if that's the case, then great. So by the next bull market, I will be a millionaire. And that's if it follows the power law, which it will follow the power law. And the other indicators with Kaspa, with the institutional adoption and whatnot, should make it go above the power law as well. So I'm very bullish long term for Kaspa, if that's the truth of the matter. Sam J, you have a good personality. Wish you all the best. Still mega early on Kaspa. We are so good. Balls crossed. Yeah. Thank you very much, my man. Everyone I've been talking to in the space regarding Kaspa and crypto in general have all been relatively friendly. If not, well, I don't speak to them really, but yeah, I think it's a much healthier outlook to have a bullish perspective and open mind on projects. That's why I don't FUD or heavily FUD any project. I always look at a project on an open mind, and I be logical about it and decide whether it's worth me getting into. And Kaspa for me is the best project I have an open mind on. People who get FUDding and get bearish on Kaspa because it's moved 1 cent in the span since the beginning of this year, since December, it's gone up 1 cent. I'm like, okay, well, you just simply don't know enough. You're not done enough research, because this is fantastic. Seeing Kaspa do this for almost a whole year just means that when this pop off happens, it's going to be astronomical, right? That's how I see it. Oh yeah, 100% it'd be the cherry on top, and I think again that's just the beginning. Future to come, Kaspa could be a top 3 project, if not even top 1. I can see at least one tier 1 exchange listing this year. I think Kraken's basically inevitable this year. And I think Binance is likely. Kraken I think is inevitable, and then the rest will follow. I think OKX also is potential, because OKX is part of the KEF, so they are directly involved with the development of another project with Kaspa. So they have a solid foot in the door already. $5 in what year? Potentially next year. Potentially end of the bull cycle. I think that's possible. So it will be huge and good for Kaspa. Smart contract will all be the best in the space. Yeah, because of what Kaspa technology is, the smart contract of Kaspa will be the best in the space and will allow it to blow every other blockchain out of the water. from Solana, from Tron to definitely Ethereum as well. But yeah, anyways, that is going to be the stream for today. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. Again, love doing this. It's going to be the same time every single day, which is 4 p.m. GPT, 12 p.m. EST, and 9 a.m. PT, 11:30 in Australia. And if you enjoy the streams, which I do daily, feel free to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And if you want to learn more, keep up the market sentiments, then the reoccurring news, what's happening there, and then by all means, feel free to join the free Discord. I'll put it in the chat right now, and it's also on my homepage, on my channel, and also in the description of the live stream. And it would be an unprecedented if Kaspa does so well in the bear market, and the same. Yeah, exactly. Kaspa, for the fact that Kaspa did so well in the bear, if it did this, it would be weird. It'd be mind-boggling if it didn't do anything in the bull market. The first one ever in history. So we will see something mind-blowing in this market. There's no doubt about that. And as I showed earlier, yeah, the Kaspa to Bitcoin chart, I'll show that quickly as I'm about to close up. Kaspa Bitcoin chart, it showcases that Kaspa, since its launch, is dominating Bitcoin. Even on the daily right now, it's up, but look at it as all-time. Look at its all-time, Kaspa is up, 116%, which is very, very good. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.